Shelly knew her worth. In Portmore, everyone knew Shelly. She wasn't just beautiful. She carried herself with the kind of confidence that made people stop mid-sentence when she walked into a room. Her skin glowed like morning sunshine. Her laughter was rich. And when she moved, her hips spoke a language older than music itself. Taxi-men slowed down just to get a glimpse. Shopkeepers leaned on their counters pretending to count change. And even the church sisters whispered, "Laud, Shelly too full of herself." But Shelly wasn't conceited. She simply knew. She knew she was easy on the eyes. Yes, but more than that, she knew her value. The pressure. Suitors lined up like church benches on a Sunday morning. Men with polished cars, men with big job talk, men who swore they'd build her a future dripping with comfort. Shelly would smile, sometimes entertain their jokes, but when they leaned in with sweet promises of forever, she would gently pull away. "Shelly, you're too choosy," her mother often said, shaking her head as she kneaded dough in the kitchen. "Good man hard fi find, and time no wait for nobody. You better pick before you're too old." But Shelly would answer the same way every time. "Mama, my prefer walk alone than walk with de wrong man." Her choice. She had seen too much. Too many women in her neighborhood, once full of spark, now dimmed, trapped in loveless marriages, silenced by men who promised them the world but delivered only weight. She wasn't willing to trade her freedom for a ring. Shelly had her own dreams. She wanted to open a beauty salon, a place buzzing with chatter, colors, and confidence. She wanted to build a small travel business on the side, taking Jamaicans to see the world and bringing the world to see Jamaica. And when all was said and done, she dreamed of a seaside home where she could sip tea each morning, watching the horizon and whispering thanks for a life fully lived. No man, not even the most charming, was worth sacrificing that vision. The temptation. There was one man, though, who almost shook her resolve. Michael. He was charming, carried himself with quiet strength, and unlike the others, he saw past her looks. He asked about her dreams, listened when she spoke, and laughed with her in a way that made her chest feel light. But when the talk of settling down came, Michael's tone changed. He wanted her to slow her ambitions, give more time to home life. His idea of love meant her world shrinking into his. And though her heart tugged at the thought of what could be, her spirit whispered louder. "Shelly, don't lose yourself. Don't lose." So she let Michael go. And though it hurt, she smiled through her tears. Because Shelly wasn't searching for someone to complete her. She was already whole. Her legacy. Years later, when she finally opened her salon on the busy strip in Portmore, people remembered her not just for her beauty, but for her courage to wait. Women sat in her chairs, listening as she told them stories of self-worth. Young girls watched her, inspired by her independence, and when whispers still floated through the air, "She too stubborn, too proud, too independent," Shelly just laughed. Because she knew beauty wasn't just in the curve of her face or the sway of her hips. It was in the strength to choose herself. It was in the fire to chase her dreams. It was in refusing to settle for less than what she deserved. Shelly's story was never about finding a man. It was about finding herself. And that, she believed, was the greatest love story of all.